Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Box Automation Lab. This is Shariful. Today we're going to learn how to automate radio button, and a checklist in Selenium. Okay, as an example, this is our page, codingboxautomationlab.com/practice. So here is a couple of radio button. So we can test. We'll see how we can click one of the radio button, or we can, if we have a group of radio button, we can click any one of them and it will confirm that we click on the button that we wanted. So this is the radio button test, and also checkbox. It's a similar way that I will try to click on one of the checkbox, and we'll see this. We click on that in checkbox. You can click more than one, if you will see, right? You can click more than one, but in the radio button, you cannot click more than one radio button at a time. It should be just one. That's all we will see. Okay. So let's get back to Eclipse. So I create a class. It's called radio button and checkbox class, and this is a prerequisite for using system properties for my Chrome driver, and then web driver, the relationship between web driver interface and Chrome driver class. And I use maximize method to maximize the window, and get method to launch the browser to the site is codingboxautomationlab.com/practice. Okay, so first our radio button test. Okay, so this will be our radio button test. Okay, so that's the first. Select and click, and first we'll select and click an individual radio button. It means any one of those, say first one. Okay, we'll select and just click. So let's inspect it. You can see here. Okay, in a radio button, this is the HTML code for reflecting the radio button 1, and it has an input tag, and then there is a value attribute, name attribute, class, and type. Just to remember, when you do a test in radio button, you will find some of the attributes. It's similar for all the radio button. Example, you will say it has a value, name, class, and type. You will see name is a radio button. It should be, it's a class is a radio button, and the type is radio. Across all the radio button, the type will be radio. That will enable to make a radio button. So you can see, this is the second one. You'll see the value is radio 2, but the name is same, radio button class is same, and the type is same. So all you can use just the value attribute if you want to individually select one of them. Okay, so let's select the radio button 1. So we can use this value attribute. Okay, so all we can do, let's see what it shows in our XPath. It should be straightforward, or we can create it. Radio button ID. Okay, it's started. Looks like it started to traverse from paths. We can use this one, or we can use this one, or we can create our own. Let's create our own using the value. So it would be / attribute use @value is a attribute equals to what's the radio 1, right? Radio 1 okay, radio 1. right? Okay, this is the X path. So this is the X path, right? So we'll see, we'll say driver dot find element by dot X path. X path, what's the X path? We just done this one. Into this one. Let's copy this. Okay, other value, that's right. And then we'll click. Okay, so this will click on the first radio button. So this is a single radio button click, test. And next one we'll do select a group of radio button and click one of them. This is our next test. Select group of radio buttons. So here, this is all of them. You will see the name attribute, class attribute, and type is the same. The attribute and value, all of them are same. So we can select, use one of them. So example type attribute to select all of them to allocate or to locate all of them as a group, and then select one of them, maybe radio button radio 3. We'll select and we'll confirm that we select the radio 3 button. We'll confirm that. Okay, we'll first we'll use one of the attribute like type to locate all of them as a group. Then we'll run a loop and check one by one, and we'll get a text we'll get a attribute value for the radio 3, and we'll put in a text variable, and we'll compare that variable with the our expected radio 3. If it's a match, it will go and click up there. Okay, let's do it. So all of them we will use, for all of them we will use type attribute. So first, let's put some thread. Okay, so let's put some thread to sleep. Let's put some sleep because let's put 5 seconds. Okay, add to declaration. So I'm adding some wait time, like 5 seconds, because it will run a loop. It may take extra time, so it's better to put some thread or sleep. So we'll say driver dot since find elements. This time we will use the find elements method because it will select group of radio button, all of them, using one of the attribute, which is the time. We'll say by dot xpath. So let's put the xpath and then at the rate. So we saw the type attribute, the value is radio. Type attribute value is radio. Right here. Okay. Value is radio, and so this is our locator. This is our whole locator. So this will locate all the radio button because it's all of them have a type attribute with the same value, it's radio. So let's put this one. Let's put this one in a variable. It will be we'll give a name RD button, radio button, and let's put the type would be web element. Web element. Hover your mouse import web element. So this time you will see, okay, you will see it's still so the return type web element, but it's still there is a red arrow over here. There's the error. So let's hover your mouse. Let's see what it is. It's saying add custom web element. Now this one, change type of radio button to list web element. So select this one. So what does it mean? It means since this variable now it's a holding group of element, group of object, group of radio button, so it has more than one element. So that's why we're putting, it's suggested that let's put in a list interface. List interface, it's a part of Java's collection. So it's an interface and it's allow you to, it works like an array, but it's allow you to save duplicate elements. So in your array, in list array, it interface. Sorry for this. Okay, change the color. Okay, and this will the list interface will, as I said, it's you can see this. It's an order collection, also known as sequence. You can read it, and you will see this will allow you to save duplicate elements. So since all the radio buttons have the similar attributes, so it's like a duplicate elements, and so it will allow you to say more than one element. It's a collection of elements with the duplicate elements, right? So that's why it's a list. It's list again. It's a part of Java's collection, and it's an interface. Okay, and object type is return type is web element. Good. Okay, so now we'll see. The next is, so this button, this variable now is located all the web elements. Let's to run a loop so that we can read one by one button. If we can click one by one, as well as we can click one of individual one. Okay, to do this, to run a loop, we have to know the size, total number of radio buttons. To know the total number of radio button, we can use, so this is the variable. It's have the knowledge all of the radio buttons. So we can use this one as I can say radio button dot size. The size method will apply on this variable, and it will count the total number of radio buttons. So we can print this, guys. Let's see. We can say system dot out dot println and put this one. So we can print the total number of radio button. We can say, let's put this one. That's before we can say total number of radio button. Total number of radio buttons are, let's put an R. Okay, and then it will show, this will show the total number. Okay, and it will print in our console. Okay, and then and again we can put this, so we need the count, total number, so we know the count. Okay, let's put this one again. Sorry, let's put this one again in a count variable, count, and its return type would be integer. Return type would be integer. Okay, so now its count variable will have the total number of radio button. So this will our condition. This count will have our condition. It will help us to put to set up our condition in for loop. Let's run its for loop now. Create a for loop for, okay, integer I equals to 0. Start it. Okay, I less than count, and then I increase. Okay, and then okay, now this for loop will help us to traverse all the radio buttons one by one, started from the first radio button, which is 0, and it will continue until less than count total numbers, less than total number of size. So, and after, so when we visit the first index, I mean first radio button, what do we want to do? We want to we want to get the attribute value, or get the text, and it puts in a variable. So it means, I can show you. So when it's when it's a loop is inside the loop, first it will go our pointer will go here, first radio button, and we want to, before we want to click on, we want to get the text. That's a radio 1. So let's see over here, we can use get text. If we want to use a get text method always get the text of the located element, but we can't use get text method over here, because you can see this HTML, the code for the radio button, it has input opening tag, but there is no closing tag. If you don't have the closing tag for an HTML code, you can't use the get text method. Okay, this is very important. So we have to use get attribute. Okay, to know more, there is a difference between get text and get attribute method. In our website, Coding Books Automation Lab, you can see there is a blog about the difference between get text and get attribute method. Please feel free to read it. The main difference, and I will share the link in the description. The main difference between these two methods is get attribute method is it's expect the string attribute name. So the only attribute name that you can use inside is used to retrieve the given attribute value, and get text is used to retrieve inner text on a web element. So if we see, if we go back to our example, there is no inner text. The radio 1 there is no inner text. Radio 1, it has attribute. So we have to use get attribute, and we put the attribute as an argument, which is a value. Okay, I hope you understand that. So we'll use this first. After we get to the inside the loop, we'll say we'll get the locator, which is our variable, dot the index number, which is the get I. So zeroth index, the locators in zeroth index, dot get attribute method, get attribute. And what's the attribute? We have to put string, because the get attribute is expected string, and the attribute name. The attribute name is value. We saw it, right? So this is, and so this will return the attribute value, the value attributes, the value of this value attributes, which is the radio 1 and the radio 2, then radio 2, even to the radio 3, based on our index number. So when it's index 0, it means the first one. When index I will be increment, and will be 1, it will be moved to the second radio button. And then let's put this one in a text variable, and return type should be string, right? Because it will return a attributes value. It values attributes, which is the radio 1, radio 2, radio 3, and radio 4. So put the return in a text variable, and then compare this, and let's print one by one. I would say let's print all the radio, the return all the text, which is the return from this code. let's print one by one. Okay, I will say this and data out dot print ln. I'm saying okay, values from radio buttons. Radio buttons are okay. This I'll put in class and put a variable. This text variable. Okay, and so it will, when its index is 0, and it will get the value of attribute value and put in a text variable, and it will print it. So the next one is go back to the loop, increment the value of I, which will be 1. It will move to the next variable. It will move to the next its index would be 1, so it will move to the next radio button, get the value attribute and put in text and print it again. So it will keep going on all the 3 radio buttons, and it will see the return of the value attribute, okay, which is radio 1, radio 2, radio 3. So our next, it's our objective. It's select, say, radio button 3 will select. So since this text will have the value of attribute, so we can compare our this text with our desired radio button, which is radio 3, right? And if it's a match, we'll get that button and we'll click on that. Okay, so let's put in it, use it if loop. If it's saying this text dot equals what's our expectation? We're looking for radio 3. So we're looking for this one, okay, radio 3, and you can see that the attribute value, it's a lowercase, not the uppercase. So all of them have a it's a lowercase. You can see radio 3. So while using this attribute value, so its a value is radio 3, it's a lowercase. Okay, so we're comparing with radio 3, this one. We're saying if it's match, get that attribute and click up there. So get the locator, this one dot get of I, whatever the index, whatever the value of I is match this condition, get that index number, get the index number, get the locator of as per the index number, and then click there, click on that button. Okay, the one, okay, and after that we can see after it's selected radio button, so it should selected the third one, when it's a condition is matched, and after it's matched we can check it's displayed or not, or it's selected or not. So we can use, there is a it's selected method, okay, that is used to check our desired button or desired object is selected or not. It will return true or false. Okay, it is a Boolean method. It's return just true or false based on the locator. So we can say this one, this is our locator, and then I'll say let's copy from here. So the index of I, is that selected? It's selected. Okay, and we can return selected. We can put return. We can return in our console. I can put in it system dot out dot println, right? Okay. So this is the one. So let's save it and just run it and see how it goes. And if it's work fine, then we'll move to our checkbox checklist. Okay, so run Java. Okay, launch the page. Looks good. Okay, selected the first time it's an individual button, but it should selected radio 3 and later on. Okay, yeah, looks is selected. If we go, you can see here it is printed total number radio button 3. Okay, total by this total number radio button. Okay, this is the variable and the size method, and all this is the one values from radio buttons are. First text is found, the variable is the font is radio 1, radio 2, radio 3, and it's selected. After it's click on the third one, it's for this code, its return is true, so it's working fine. So this one is done. This one is done. Okay, let's our next text is checkbox test. We'll do the checkbox test. It's very simple. Checkbox. Just locate the box and click on there. So example here, this is our checkbox. Okay, so we can select one checkbox, we can select multiple checkbox, so it's fine. So and all you need to locate the checkbox and then click up there. Say this one, you can see there's an input tag name ID, there's a value attribute, name attribute, type, and type is checkbox again. We can select individual one, or we can do more turn on, or we can use the group as one of the, we can use the type as checkbox and use the group as we did in the radio button. But this time we'll just select, individually we'll create two locator for two checkbox, and we'll click both of them. And okay, let's ID checkbox. Okay, value option 1. Let's see what happened if we select the second one. So it has a checkbox, so ID is different. You can see both of them. The value attribute, it's a different. Yes, the name it's a type is only the same. Okay, let's use the checkbox, the ID. We can use the ID. Okay. Let's so driver dot find element. Let's use ID this time. By dot ID, and then I'll put the value. Its ID is, we know the ID for the first one. This is the one. Okay, and what do you want to do? Let's put this one again, same way. We can put in a variable. Let's put in a variable checkbox 1, and the return type would be web element. This time with the return type web element, I think you understand, because it's an individual checkbox or individual object. Okay, so we'll use this one. What do you want to do? So we'll locate this one and then we'll click. Okay, just click. Very simple. It's a similar way. If you want, we can select the next one, same way. Let's copy this. We know this the ID for the second one, it just change the number, right? And then we'll give in variable also name 2. We'll say same thing here, also just 2 dot click. Okay, so now we'll will use to verify that it's the checkbox we selected, like checkbox first one, check 1 and 2, like so the 2, the immediate one, the checkbox 2 was enable. Okay, to do that we have a method. Is called isEnable method. It's return true or false if the element it's enable, it will return true. If the element is not enable, it will return false. So we can what we're gonna do, we're saying we'll use enable method. Okay, to do this, it is for this the second checkbox. Second checkbox that is enable method. Okay, and let's put this one in a print statement. Okay, we'll say system.ln. Let's put this one up. Sorry, and let's put a print statement here. So is checkbox to enable. Okay, let's put this one, and then it will check if it's enable. Okay, it will say is checkbox to enable. It will say true. If it's not, it will say false. Okay, let's do it. So pretty much that's it. Let's save it and run it. Okay, the page opened, looks good. Should click on radio 1, then click on radio 3. Good. Okay, it's already click on checkbox 1 and checkbox 2. That's pretty good. Okay, let's minimize. And if you see the output, okay, total number of radio button is 3. And it's printed all the radio buttons value attributes, which is radio 1, 2, and 3, and it says true. It means based on this is selected. It was selected radio 3, and then it says it checkbox enable. A checkbox to enable. It's in yes or true. Yes. Okay. So pretty much that's it for the radio button and checkbox automation in Selenium. Thank you everyone, and please don't forget to click on subscribe so you can be updated for the next video. Okay, thanks a lot.